And we are officially live. Hello, everyone out there on BC WrestlePod land, and welcome to another episode of NXTilosos, your weekly and sexiest NXT review show out there on the internet. Be like, ooh. and we are here to review the go home edition of NXT before deadline. So, of course, I am El Jefe, also known as Mikey. And joining me this evening, of course, first and foremost, you know him, you love him. You can find him here pulling the double feature on Wednesdays and joining me on Fridays. Papa also is in the building. Hi, Will. Happy to have you here. And of course, rounding out our trio is the Pleat Master, the Pleat Father, the Kilt Meister, if you will. Kilt Man is in the building as well.
Tis me, yes, I'm here. Hello.
Very happy to have you boys. And like I said, we are here to review the go home edition of NXT before NXT's deadline, which is the final pay per view of the year, which is happening this Saturday. And yeah, we're going to be talking about the show. We're also going to be giving our predictions for deadline. And yeah, happy to have you here. But before we get into all of that, if you are new to BC WrestlePod and want to know, hey, what do y'all have to offer? Well, I'm glad you asked, person on the internet. So, if you like what you see on your screen and you want to dive deep into our catalog of lives and edited, post-show breakdowns for a bunch of the major promotions in the United States, as well as some of the international ones, you can subscribe to our YouTube or follow us on Twitch and Kick, because we love you for your support, and we are anywhere and everywhere, and we support your preferred platform for video watching. If you're looking for something a little bit more self-contained, where you're like, hey, I don't have a lot of time to watch, but I still want to interact with the community, how can I go about doing that? Well, you can follow us on your favorite social media site. We are pretty much anywhere and everywhere at BC WrestlePod. And on the social medias is where you can find our report cards, as well as the TV previews for the shows and the pay-per-views, and also get to see some fun prediction stuff and some other great things that happen here. And then, of course, if you wanted to take it a step further and you want to be able to support the cause monetarily, there are two ways you could go about doing so. First is to buy some merchandise from us, which, of course, you can find at bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com, in which we have our holiday shirt that is now available. It is so much fun. Y'all should check that out. I'm going to put a link in the chat as we go throughout this review because it's hilarious. And I love the design. It was ridiculous. But if you also want to support us with the pay-per-views and keeping the metaphorical lights on, our little homie, the coffee bot, will be popping up ever so often in the chat. And feel free, but not required. Thank you, Kilt, for the link, which, we're going to put that on screen real quick. bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. It is a great time, and we love you for it. Alrighty, now that I got that out of the way, okay, let's get into this go home, because I'm like, that was me the entire night. I was like, okay. I'm a little upset that we got one match here, and I was like, we could have used this at deadline, but you know what? I'm not booking the show, so we're not far enough in. But in the words of Kennedy Davenport, it's like, well, F my drag, right? So that is how I felt about this episode of NXT. There were some bright spots, but I have lots of questions. So let's just get into it. So, of course, with deadline, and I swear to the NXT gods, especially, Papa Oso, you and I used to discuss this every year. We do not need the summits happening ever again. I'm like, why do we keep doing these summits for the Iron Survivor? Thank goodness it was just only one, because usually we get both the men and the women's at some point through the night. But I'm just like, why couldn't we have what we did with the men's and just have all five of them compete in a match? I mean, we got three of them later in the show, and then Jordan Kalani, went off into the ether fighting somewhere. So I'm just like, okay. But we kick off NXT this week with the, Women's Iron Survivor Summit, which is basically the same thing. Everyone gives their case as to why they are the one who's going to win and become number one contender. And so I was just like, I'm very interested of how this is going to work, because technically you have 4 baby faces, and then there's Kalani, who is technically our heel. But I would call her more of a tweener, so to speak, because she's not full here. She's like in between. So everyone, and I was like, Jordan and her are ready to throw hands. Soul, Lola, and Kendall are, have that desire. And I'm just like, all right, girls, I love y'all, but we don't need this. And then they get interrupted by Fatal Influence. And I was like, do we really need you here? I know this is to determine who's going to be number one contender to face JC for the title at New Year's Evil in the January. But I'm like, why are we here? So then they try to jump everyone. Well, first, Jordan and Kalani F off somewhere, because then they start fighting and we never see them again or get any mention of them for the remainder of the show. Fatal Influence then jumps Kendall Gray, Sol Ruka, and Lola Vice, only for all of them to fight. And that is when, we go to commercial, and when we come back, we get this picture, because Ava is just like, listen, I'm tired of your guys' nonsense. So guess what? You 3 are not leaving anywhere. You 3 will have a 6-woman tag team match, and it will be you 3 versus Kendall Gray, Sol Ruka, and Lolo Vice later in the show. And Fatal Influence is upset about that. And I'm just sitting here looking at these 3. I'm like, what did you think was going to happen when you decided to cause nonsense?
I mean, at least Ava has the spine that Adam Pearce and
Nick Aldis
don't have with Judgment Day. Because that's really what Fatal Influence is like a slightly knocked off version of Judgment Day, because all they do is interfere.
Yeah, but I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I hated how we opened the show, because I'm like, I don't want these summits anymore. Go away with the summits. We don't need them every time we get these multi-person matches. We had one for Stand and Deliver this year for the freaking ladder match for the women, and I was like, we don't need these anymore. They don't do nothing. And of course, I was just like, oh, okay. So for those of you who don't know, to peek back behind the curtain, right? I do all of the social media for the previews of each episode, right? And so I'm sitting here trying to get pictures for the social media posts of what's on the card tonight. Tell me why that the only pictures that were available on NXT's site was the picture of the women's summit and the men's main event. And I'm just like, you had nothing else. The fudge of NXT. I was so mad. I was like, now you're going to make... So thank God that, I follow a bunch of wrestling reporters, and I'm just like, I'm going to give you credit, and your watermarks are going to stay on, because I'm not like that. But I was like, do you know how hard it was to get these pictures in order? But this was just a convoluted way. I hated this. Kilt, you gave us your thoughts. At least Ava had the spine, but I want to come to you first. Did we really need this summit? And how did we feel about it?
No, we didn't need a damn summit. It's summit. Let's do a summit. Let's do a summit. Summit. Why? This could have been the email. That's what this is. That's what the summits are. A fucking email. You just let them fight. Just throw them in the ring. Let them go.
Which, we will see later from some of these folks. But also, same question to you. You have been here with me from the jump, and we say this every year. What is it going to take for NXT to not give us these summits?
All I know is this did not give me hope for the episode. It's like, I was like, oh, shit. The minute it started, I was like, oh, they're starting with this.
It's like, this is not going to end well.
I was like, oh, God. I was like, oh, maybe if they, I was thinking, this should have happened. First of all, it should never have happened. But if it was, since it was going to happen, it should have happened later. But they put it right at the front, and I was just like, oh, it's cringy. And you know me, I hate the talky crap. I hate it. And it's like, this went on way too long, as they always do, and it's the exact same outcome every time. There's nothing new about it. So why the hell are we doing them still? I don't know. Maybe someone up in NXT admin thinks that this is like one of the most popular things that they do. I don't know, but whoever did, they need to be fired.
It's like, we need to have a talk. It's like, we need to have a talk.
Seriously.
So
no.
And we're gonna get into it because I was like, spoiler alert, I like the match we got, but I was just like, there could have been better ways we could have gotten to it. But anyways, we're gonna put a pin in these girls, and we're gonna come back to them when we talk about their match. Because right now, let's be 100% for real. This was like a 6-7 minute match, and I was just like, Ariana Grace got squashed, and deservedly so. I was just like, her and Stacks are irritating me. And I'm kind of glad that Joe Hendry and Thea Hale are the ones to be like, calm yourself. Especially Thea, because I have missed Thea this year. Like, I am so happy she's back on my screen.
I am so in love with Thea.
I love her.
I was just like, I'm so happy. Her and Joe Hendry are such an odd pairing that I love as well.
They're fantastic together.
They are just so good, and just a natural way to bring Joe Hendry, in NXT full time. But the reason that we got this match is because Joe Hendry and Thea Hale were talking about, what happened at Gold Rush, even though they didn't beat Chelsea and Ethan for the AAA Mixed Tag Championships. They still loved it. They were talking about other stuff. And then Ariana Grace and Stacks, who are dating in real life, are just like being that. They're like that one high school couple that is just PDAs on purpose to make everyone mad, and we're like, ew, we don't need that on my screen.
I don't think they should let wrestlers do that. I don't think they should let real couples be real couples, like in the stories, because we kind of saw how that didn't work with Trick and Lash.
God, that was awful.
It was horrible, and this is getting just as cringy.
It's like
when they walked in, I was literally like, "This is disgusting."
I was like,
so
ew.
Yeah, I don't even like it when Liv Morgan's hanging all over Dom. I think that's kind of lame and
that's like they're not even a real couple, and I'm like, ew.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I was like, ew. On a sidebar though, shout out to Lash for shout out to Trick for locking that thing down, and her and Trick and Lash are now engaged. So, and Homegirl was rocking the engagement ring during her match at Survivor Series. I was like, yes.
Wait,
Lash.
really? I didn't know that. I wasn't even paying that close attention.
Oh yeah.
It has been a whirlwind. It's been a whirlwind for Trick and Lash. Lash getting engaged over the Thanksgiving holiday, and then having her first match at Survivor Series, now that she's on main roster. So shout out to Miss Legend. We love you, girl. Anyway,
we know who the breadwinner of that family is. Go, lady. Go.
Listen, I don't care what no one says. She was a boss. She was bomb-ass bitch in her entrance.
Oh, she is. She's amazing. I love her.
Her entrance and the charisma that she carries herself with, it was great. Anyways, but stay tuned on Sunday for our full-length review of Survivor Series. So, but back to this match. So Thea Hales and Joe Hendry are like, ew. So, Thea's was like, you know what? Let's just settle this in the ring, and settle this in the ring. They did. This was a glorified squash match. Thea Hale just annihilated Ariana in 7 minutes.
Yeah, it was a squash match, but it was fun. It was one of the better things out of this episode. That's not saying a lot.
No, that is very true.
It was definitely one of the better things. I love it's. I've mentioned this in weeks past, where since Thea's been more and more on the roster, I'm absolutely. You can shut up. I forgot to put that on Do Not Disturb. I put Discord on Do Not Disturb, but anyway. I've been loving Thea more and more, and I love her personality. I love the character that she's bringing, and just the excitement she has. And it's it's so adorable. It just sucks you in. It's like almost the It's the weirdest part. It's like the same side of the opposite coin or opposite side of the same coin when it comes to Tatum. And I'm like, they're great. I like them. Don't know what it is. My brain is going lizard. But yeah, so this was a good match. I enjoyed this one.
This was a squash match, but I do agree with you, Kilt, but I also agree with you, Papa, that this was one of the better things that was on this show. And I was just like, oh, so we started off with the summit and we got this fun match. I'm worried of what we're going to get for the remainder of the show. I'm just like, oh no. But one of the other things I cannot be mad at this group of boys. I'm not going to lie. I can't be mad at them. I was just like, this is just pure baby faces, and I love them. So backstage, because I'm like, okay, so we know we're getting this 8-man as a match, and it's main eventing. So how are we gonna make this interesting? So the baby faces of the men's Iron Survivor match all are in Ava's office, and Ava tells them that yes, you four are going to be taking on Dark State tonight in the main event, but to up the stakes for the Iron Survivor match at Deadline, the person who gets the pin and wins it for the team, if you will get to pick your spot in the Iron Survivor, match, which is a huge thing because it can go both ways. You probably want to start off the match because then you get the most time to get more pinfalls. Or if you want to be fresh, you can wait until the very end to be the 5th person in, but then that only leaves you with like 10 minutes to get as many pinfalls as possible. And it goes the same way. So if anybody on the babyface team gets the win, they will get to select their number spot in the Iron Survivor match. But if Dark State wins, then Dion Lennox would get to pick his spot, which I was like, you know what? I'm not mad at this. It gets stakes. Did I think Dion was going to win? No. So that's the only downside I have with this. I was just like, Butch now makes me worried about how Deadline's going to shape up. But even still, we'll get into that when we talk about predictions. So the baby faces are on fire, and we get the stakes for this. Whoever gets the pin for their team in the main event is going to get to pick their spot. So I'm like, very interested to see. But I also was a little mad. I was like, you have 4 baby faces, and we're really about to do the can they coexist thing in this match. I'm like, all right, let's just do it. So we're going to talk about them again when we get to the main event. But right now, I'm not going to lie. This is probably my favorite match of the entire night. And this is why I'm mad. Why was this not at Deadline? I'm just putting it out there. We could have had this match at Deadline. Give Tavion and Josh a pay-per-view match. I'm mad. Especially for Tavion, man. I love me some Tavion. And Josh has actually been really, really fun in all of this, too. This was probably my favorite match of the entire night. I'm not going to lie. They were hitting hard. They threw each other hard. I was confused because it made it seem we were going to get like a no DQ kind of street fight, but no, they kept it all in the ring, but they brutalized each other. I'm like, you know what? I'm here for this Haas Snug style match. This was pretty good.
I liked how they took out one of the barriers.
Oh gosh, that barrier spot was nuts. But yeah, this was a really fun match. Josh ends up winning against Tavion. So towards the tail end, Josh tries to use the chain. Ref is like, no, we can't have that. And so I'm like, oh, the ref's back is turned. Are we going to get a low? No. Josh and Tavion continue to fight, and Josh wins cleanly, might I add, with a huge big man lariat on Tavion for the win. And then watching Josh like argue with some fans and, in the audience was kind of cool. I was like, get that heel heat, Josh. So, but yeah, go ahead. Oh, sorry
to cut off. When you're in there are times where it's like I saw one where he was having some heel heat with a crowd member, and I'm like, wait, and then it was like, okay, cool, yeah, there's a little bit of an exchange, and then like producers came over and said, hey, dude, you need to chill the fuck out. And I'm like, oh, that's a little too much. That guy's overstepped. Let's not do that.
It's like, let's not.
It's like there's a good thing about it's a back and forth where we're so close, we get to have that interaction, but it's like, gotta be careful with how you do.
It's like, let's not. Yeah, but Papa, what did you think about this match?
It was a good match. I liked it. It gave me a little bit of hope. I was like, oh, well, okay, maybe they got all the crap out of the way in the beginning, and now we're gonna have good stuff. And we didn't.
It was hit and miss for the rest of
like,
the show.
But this was a good one. I did like this one. I'm bummed that Tavian didn't win, but okay, that's cool. But I agree. This was definitely a game of one of these things is not like the other. And this match seemed out of place in this episode.
That's what I was saying. I was like, we could have had this match at Deadline, honestly.
We could have. I mean, I don't know. It was weird. I was like, this is like even the promo of it, the setup of it, the match itself, the coming out of it. I mean, it felt different than the rest of the night. And I don't know what any of that was. I don't know if that was just me and my sort of, oh God, what is this train wreck? Wanting something so not train wrecky that I don't know, but it just felt like it was out of place. But it was so good. I mean, I really enjoyed it. And they were thrashing each other. I was like, this is great. This is so good.
Brutality, which is what we love sometimes. Loved it. Kilt, any additional thoughts to Tavion versus Josh?
No, not really. It's like I actually forgot we were gonna have this match, and I kind of half ignored it, and was kind of skipping through, and then I saw Josh getting heat at the end with the audience. I'm like, okay, y'all gotta be careful with that again. I've seen what happened last time, and what happened last time was when Matt Cardona was in there, and like I don't know what the guy was doing, but the audience member looked just overly heated. But yeah, this was okay. As I said, I skimmed through a lot this episode just to make sure I got it all absorbed in time. But it was mostly, yeah. When you text us, hey, 2 hours to call time, I'm on the toilet on my phone just playing. I don't know what the heck I was. I'll probably scroll.
You're just like, I knew I was forgetting something. Darn it!
Ah, shit. I was watching anime. I had to pause and go poo.
We love pizza.
But no, this was okay. Probably, as you said, it is probably the better one. Probably the better of the matches for the night, and it should have been on either. It should have been last week in Gold Rush, or it should have been in Deadline. It just did not fit. The quality of the match and the storyline of the match did not fit a regular night.
I'm going to be completely honest. I feel like we could have switched this match with Trick and Miles' match last week. Have that match open the show, and then have Miles jump into the 8-person tag at the end where he will have to pull double duty. And we could have had this at Gold Rush. But, I don't book the shows. But I'm interested to see where we go with Tavion and Josh moving forward, because I get this sneaky suspicion. I was like, I hope this isn't over, because I want to see them fight more, because it's great. But moving on, though, into the show. Again, this was one of the better things we saw. Okay. So, we're going to do a sandwich with this one, right? Izzy, you know what? I wasn't sure how I felt about you when we first got to NXT. And even now, you know what? I still like you, girl. I really, really do. I think you were coming into your own. You feel more comfortable on the mic, which I'm cool with. My biggest issue with this, and this is not just Izzy, this is what I've seen with a lot of the NXT folks cutting promos, especially if they're leaning on the heel side of things. I'm not saying you have to fully like go back and forth with the crowd and address them, but I have a weird issue when you continue to cut your promo like you're just trying to get through the script and not interact with the audience that is booing you at the moment. Like, girl, we didn't even play with the crowd a little bit. You were just like, I don't know if you were nervous. I don't know what was happening, but you were just trying to get through this promo and the script. But you did not even banter or play with the crowd. I'm like, I need the NXT stars to do that more. Now, sometimes the NXT crowd can be a little crazy and they sometimes hijack the show in ways that is not meant to be. And I was like, y'all need to settle down, like calm it down. But Izzy, girl, that was my first issue. The second issue I had with this is her reasoning for turning on Tatum. I was just like, the motivation does not mix well. And I'm like, motivation wise, I'm just like, this does not make a lot of sense to me. So you're mad at Tatum because she wanted to do her own thing. But then you contradict yourself saying that you wanted her to have the world, but you were also mad at her for not listening. Make it make sense, Izzy. Make it make sense. Oh man, Izzy, like this was not the worst promo I have ever heard in my entire life this year in NXT, but girl, we were trying to get through the script and I was just like, I saw that hand shaking and I was just like, oof, this is a rough one for you, girl. So we're going to talk about this portion because my next portion goes into how this ended, but I want to come to you first, Papa. Like, what?
This was the perfect example of when something should be an email. This was so bad. This was like, I mean, this was hard to watch bad. I mean, it was just like, and you already know my feelings about this group, but I was just like, girl, I mean, the look on her face in this picture is like painful. The girl's like, oh hell, what am I doing out here? I'm like, girl, I'm literally trying to figure out that too, because you shouldn't be, you should not be in this ring with doing this, whatever you want to call it, because I'm not even going to call it a promo. I don't know what this was. This improvisation.
I was like, what in the soliloquy was this? Like,
well, it felt. Well, I mean, that's what it literally was like. It felt like improvisation. It literally, they were backstage and they were like, okay, grab a slip of paper out of this hat. Okay, that's what you need to go out there and do. And then that's what it felt like. And it was like unprepared. It felt unprepared. It felt like someone who's not confident in what they're doing and what they're saying, because you could hear it in the voice. And this is coming from a theater person, because I'm a theater professor. But this was bad. I mean, everything about it was just, dare I say, amateur. But it was literally, I was just like, girl, I mean, did you have any prep time? I mean, is this literally here, we need you to go out and say this real quick? That's kind of what it felt like. It didn't feel like it didn't feel natural. I didn't believe that she believed what she was saying. And it doesn't help. And I don't know why they think it does, having the two meatheads standing behind her, thinking that that's going to make it all better, which it didn't. It just made it worse, because then it's like she's fumbling and they're looking like, low-end barbarians behind her who don't know what a flower is. And she's just going. And I was just like, what is happening right now? I was like, NXT, I know. Mikey, you and I, we have seen them phone some shit in. This was phoned in. This was so bad. I felt bad for Izzy. I felt so bad for her. And I did not believe any of it. That's like, you didn't get me, girl. You didn't pull me in. You didn't convince me of anything. Because I don't feel that you believed what you were saying. So this was hard to watch.
Yeah,
it was so hard to watch.
This part of the segment was really rough.
Oof.
And again, like I brought up earlier, the crowd was not giving Izzy any breathing room whatsoever.
No.
And I was just like, okay, but that's kind of fair though, because Tatum has now become so beloved with the crowd,
right,
at NXT, and so for her to lose the title the way she did at Gold Rush Week 1, and then for Izzy and the group to turn on her, I was just like, Shawn Michaels and creative, I feel like threw Izzy out into with meat attached to her, and they threw her in the open ocean with sharks around. That being the audience and people watching from home too. Because I was like, they did not give her any breathing room to deliver this. And I'm just like, this was not great, Izzy. But also the crowd was not letting up. And I was like, oof. I was like, that's a little rough. I'm not going to lie. But that's
that's part of it, though. That's what
I'm saying. She should have leaned into it a little bit. Play with the crowd a little bit.
She felt it. To me, it felt like she was like, oh, shit, I wasn't expecting that. Which, personally, I'm like, how would you not expect that? You literally just screwed over the darling of the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
And you thought they were going to embrace you? Absolutely not. And I agree. She didn't. It felt like she had no idea what to do.
And so she's like, I'm going to just get through this really quickly. And I was like, girl, lean into it. It's okay. But yeah, Kilts, anything else that you feel like needs to be added to Izzy's portion of this before we get into how this ended?
It was so bad I skipped it.
Hey, you know what? Fair enough. So Izzy gets through everything, and she, calls Tatum to the carpet, so to speak. And so I swear to God, if she does not look at this picture. I swear to God, if Tatum does not win at Deadline, we're gonna have issues. NXT. I was just like, he already took the title from her. I feel like between both of them, you can continue this feud, but Tatum needs to exact vengeance, especially the way that she said it. That at Deadline, she has no choice, and she's scared of what she's going to become because she has to show Izzy all her pain. She didn't even finish the sentence, and she just up and left off camera. And I'm just like, oh, Izzy, you fucked up big time. And so, hey, you know what? It's effective because now I want to see Tatum kick Izzy's ass at Deadline this Saturday. I still find it very strange, though. I mean, granted that we haven't really worked up to it, but I'm like, this is just a regular singles match. I was expecting some sort of weapons, no disqualification. But listen, like I said it last night, and this is the term I'm going for. I need Tatum on demon time, is what I call it. Just go in there and go full swinging. Don't be like, oh, she's my friend. No, what was it? Not even a whole minute of Tatum on screen. And what she said, this is how you condense what you're trying to get across in an email format, because Tatum delivered what needed to be delivered. We got the point across, and it took less than a minute for us to do so. We didn't need a whole 5-minute promo. And so I'm ready for Tatum to go full demon time and come out the gate swinging on Saturday. So, hashtag justice for Tatum Patat. Oh, man. I was just like, Tatum, you need to win. Kick Izzy's ass. But we're going to move on from this section. So, here's the thing, right? Normally, I'm here for the chaotic AF matches. And I'm going to be honest, I actually really did like this match. Kendall Gray is out here. I'm like, what? I was like, did she just take cocaine? Why is she running around so fast? The offense that Kendall does, I was like, okay, I'm kind of here for this. And of course, y'all know me. I love Sol Ruka's finisher. The Soul Snatcher is one of the things that I really love watching. I would have put this as my favorite match. There's only one tiny problem. And it was what happened afterwards. This is what's getting me. I was just like, Lola and Sol Ruka were me at the end of this match. I was just like, why did we do this? And now I have a sneaky suspicion. I was just like, the way that Kendall was acting, I'm like, oh God, we're about to pull Kendall from this match, aren't we? I was just like, then why did you have her do all this if she's not going to be in the match? Again, I could be completely wrong, but I'm like, Zarya's about to be put in this match, isn't she? I was like, what? And again, I was just like, you know what? This match was great. Everyone did their stuff. Everyone got a moment to shine. It was really fun. And then, Lola, Sol, and Kendall win the match. And then Zarya comes out and tackles Kendall after Lola pulls Sol out of the way. So commentary made sure to tell us, be like, oh my gosh, Zarya was going for Sol. I was just like, yeah, think so. Like, these girls... Listen, these girls don't need a wrestling ring. They need a therapist couch because Sol and Zarya need to get it together. I was just like, y'all need to get back on the same page or break up. Like, this in between. And I was just like, they're going to drag this out all the way until April for, they're going to drag this out all the way to Stand and Deliver, aren't they? I'm like, oh boy. I love everyone involved. I just hated this moment for Zarya and Sol, and they don't get to celebrate the win for Lola, Sol, and Kendall for winning against Fatal Influence. I don't mind that Fatal Influence lost this one. I was just like, you're all fine. I was just like, I mean, Fallon got pinned, but let's be real. The Speed Championship is not really not a weighty championship in NXT, to be completely fair. Anyways, I'm going to reverse it this time. Uno, reverse it. Kilt, I'm going to come to you first. Like, how did you feel about the match, and how did you feel about this ending part of it?
There were so many bodies flying. I thought we were watching AAA for a second. Like, it just, there was a lot going on, and it was like, okay, boom, 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 boom. They're all just trying to hit the spots. Slowing down. Okay, good speed. A little slow. Okay, cool, the match is done. All right, so what the fuck are they doing? Like, who's this red rocket that just came out of nowhere? And then it's like, oh, it's Saruka. I'm like, well, what the fuck? What the hell? Like, I don't know what's going on with this. I'm excited for this feud. I'm excited for this therapy session that they absolutely need. But the Zarya Sol thing is just scary.
I feel like we progressed a lot and we just flipped character motivations just on a whim. So, like, again, I mean, to be fair, Sol Ruka was mad at Zarya last week at Gold Rush Week 2 because Zarya threw in the towel to protect Sol, which is totally understandable. And she was mad, and so she wasn't going to be, she decided not to be at Zarya's side for, her match for the Speed Championship, which is also fair. But then this week, Sol Ruka acts like, oh, it's water under the bridge, and we moved on real quick from that. I was just like, so you were Petty Betty last week for Zarya, and now we're just magically okay with this? I'm like, listen, I am a forgiving person too. Don't get me wrong. But if someone did me like that, I would still be mad at them for at least a couple of weeks, and then we would work it out. We have progressed the natural plot of, being angry at somebody and forgiving them. And then we just switched roles because now Zarya is pissed out of nowhere. I was just like, I get that you were mad that Sol wasn't on your side for your speed match, but girl, to full on bulldoze somebody and planning to bulldoze Sol Ruka because y'all mad, I was just like, I don't know, Zarya. I love you, girl, but that's not healthy coping mechanisms. I don't know. Papa, also anything to add to the match or your thoughts on this ending segment?
I mean, did we see it coming? Yeah, we did. We knew it was going to happen. I figured it might happen here, but I wasn't sure. Because I knew that they're coming off of like a victory type thing. And yes.
Yes, Kilt.
Sorry, I have to interrupt for a very moment. The only one who didn't see anything coming was our Evolve champion.
Poor Kendall. She got bulldozed to hell with this one. Anyways, you were saying, Will?
That's fair. No, I was just saying that when they won the match, I was like, we're going to see a Zarya appearance. If not this, she was just going to be like maybe standing there staring at her or something. I don't know. But I figured we were going to get something, and then this happened, and I was like, yeah, that makes total sense. And I don't know if they're going to drag this out that far. I think they might finish it pretty quick. I mean, honestly, because first of all, why would you want to draw this out when you have two really good wrestlers that you could be doing things with individually, or teaming them up with new people or whatever? So I don't think they're going to. I don't think, and that's just me, I don't think they're going to drag it out that far to all the way to April. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to knock it out pretty quick. I think we're going to get a little bit of story on it, but I think it's going to be like maybe through December into January, maybe.
Like the earliest I could see, like if they have a pay-per-view match to blow this off, I can see like Vengeance Day or something early in the year before Stand and
Vengeance
Deliver.
Day would make more sense to me,
right?
But I guess we'll see. But yeah, I wasn't surprised by it. And I was okay. Again, I was okay with Fatal Influence losing because they're driving me nuts.
That's the same thing. I'm just like, all right, well, so the telenovela that is Zaruka will continue on, and we will continue to follow it as the plot lines develop. Oh boy. I was like, okay, so we're playing hard and fast with these rules. So Dion Lennox, gives Saquon Sugars the tag title to make him the official, tag team champion with him and Osiris for Dark State. I was just like, I feel like that's we were playing hard and fast with the rules anyways, but okay. And then I was like, if it ended it there, not my favorite segment, but I would have been fine with it. What really irritated me is afterwards with Dion Lennox squaring up with Obafemi. I was like, first of all, I'm like, listen, Oba, I'm ready for you to go to main roster. Let's just put it at that. Like, I love you, but you have done everything here. I feel like you can go to main roster. Hopefully we'll put him on SmackDown. Anywho. But I'm just like, watching Dion go after Obafemi like the way he did, I was just like, NXT? Did we skip some of the plot? Because you're acting like Dion Lennox and Dark State are running things in NXT. I was just like, the hell they ain't. I was just like, yeah, they're tag champs, but do you know how many times they got their asses beat? Not just by NXT, but how they got their asses beat by people in TNA as well. I was like, they have lost in 2 different companies. And they've lost a lot too. So I was just like, nah, you lost me with this one. I was just like, you missed me with this one, NXT. I was like, you cannot make me believe that all this development makes Dion Lennox better. I was just like, the progression from where Dark State formed to where we are now, I was just like, I know you lying. And so I'm like, am I rooting for Oba to beat up Dion Lennox? Possibly. We'll revisit that a little bit later.
I am. I fully am. They really wrote this whole segment wrong. Like, it was like, oh, Oba's coming over to give you a pat on the back, say, hey, man, you're doing a good job. And then they're like, oh, we're going to just clown on the ruler. I'm like, dude, y'all for about you get your handy wipes, handed to you. It's like, dude, just why are you bucking up? Like, take the compliment. He looks to be in a good mood. Now you pissed him off. Why you stupid? Why? Why you stupid?
I was just like, I know you lying. I was like, there is no way this is supposed to make me. Oh my goodness. Papa Osa, anything you want to add to this?
This whole segment made no sense. I don't understand. You know me again. I don't like Dark State. I haven't liked them ever since they hit the scene because I think they're just dumb. And Nothing against the wrestlers in Dark State, but this Dark State in general as a concept is stupid. I mean, it really is. And then I just love how he's like, "Here, I'm just going to give you this title belt. Yeah, I'm just going to hand it over to you." And I'm just like, "Okay, I'll take it. You want to give it to me? I'll be a tag team champ." You know. And I was just, and then I was like, "Okay, well, I guess this can't get any stupider." Oh wait, sure it can. Because then here comes Oba Femi, and I was thinking, okay, Oba, hello, how are you? And then this happened, and then I was just like, what? And I was like, Oba, just squash him right now. You could do it. I mean, just hit him on the head and watch him go to the floor. I mean, it's like so dumb. I was just so I was pretty much at this point. I had given up on this episode.
I was like, oh, absolutely not. And then I was just like, we still got like 30 minutes. All right, let's metaphorically, I'm just like, if I'm having a tough time, I was like, I know Chilts and Papa are also having a whole time. And metaphorically, I was like, all right, let's hold hands, you guys. We got 30 minutes left in this episode. Let's get through the remainder of it. So Chase U gets squashed by OTM. Like, I have nothing more to add to that. So I was just like, listen, I think OTM has a promising future in the tag team division. I just need them to stop appearing like every 2.5 months. Like, what are we doing? Like, either put them on TV full time or not. Like, that's all I have to say on that, and we can move on with our lives.
Yeah.
Like, nothing more to add.
Well, I have to honestly say, you don't have to go back. You don't have to go back. I just will say, I'll just follow it into this next segment. Chase U needs to go away. I mean, it's a shell of its former self, and even when it was in its prime, it wasn't all that. And now it's just sad and pathetic now. And I'm like, y'all need to let that go.
It's not the same. Like,
yeah, I mean, you
Chase
need to let it go.
Andre Chase, Thea Hale, Duke Hudson, Riley Osborne, and Ridge Holland. It was those 5. And now that Chase U is the only Andre Chase is the only thing left to Chase U. Thea is now paired with Joe Hendry, and the other 3 are no longer with NXT and in the company. Like, we need to find something new.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not the same. We have moved on from the heyday of Chase U and their absurdity.
Yeah. Now it's just sad. It's literally just sad.
Yeah, so I'm like, I was kind of depressed watching Chase U in that match. I was like,
yeah,
oh, how have we fallen?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of falling, I am waiting for the downfall of Ethan Page because it's going to be glorious.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
So Ethan Page is getting in his car. Ava walks, is like, where are you going, Ethan? And Ethan's like, well, as the most hardworking champion, I am not needed here tonight. So in the words of Eric Hartman, screw you guys, I'm going home.
I loved what he said before that, which was, thanks to you and the Invisible Man, I'm good to go. Thanks, John.
That was just like amazing. It's hilarious. And Ava's like, well, I mean, it is about time for you to defend your North American Championship, because the last time Ethan defended that thing was at Halloween Havoc. And I'm just like, oh shit, you're right. The last time Ethan defended this North American Championship was in October. I was like, oh, damn, you're right. But Ethan's been wrestling everywhere around the world. But I was like, holy crap. El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. was the last opponent to face Ethan for the North American Championship. So Ethan's just like, there is nobody in WWE that can beat me and take this title off me. And then, of course, we saw the Fate. Well, not the Fate. Popping up in screen behind Ethan as he is saying this, we see the very familiar, puppet of La Yesca. And we've come to find out that Mr. Iguana from AAA will be facing Ethan Page at Deadline for the North American Championship. And I'm just sitting here. I'm like, do I think Mr. Iguana is going to win? No. Am I waiting to see what kind of shenanigans these two get up to because they be having banging matches in Mexico? Yes. But I'm so mad. I was just like, I'm kind of mad that this was literally a couple days before the pay-per-view build for the show, but this match is going to be fucking hilarious, and I'm here for it.
I thought it was hilarious that Mr. Iguana and Iesca just took the fucking car.
They took Ethan's car. I was laughing so hard. And Ava was cracking me up too. He's like, call the police and tell them what? That an iguana stole your car? Like, Ava, I love you so much.
Yeah, Orange County and OPD, actually, yeah, OPD probably patrols that area because I don't think I had to look into it. But yeah, Orange County doesn't give two shit. Wait, an iguana? Well, it's December, so they fell out of the tree. You must have thawed out real quick.
I'm like, this match is going to be ridiculous, and I'm all here for it. Like, no lie. So, yeah, so we will give our predictions when we get into deadline. Main event time. Joe Hendry, TNA X Division champion Leon Slater, Miles Bourne, and Javon Evans taking on Dark State. This was fine for what it was. It wasn't the worst thing, but I was just like, now I'm worried with Dark State losing this match with Miles Bourne getting the pin. So Miles gets to pick his spot in the deadline match. I'm worried that Dion Lennox's chances may have gone up slightly of winning the whole thing. I'm like, oh God, no. But again, I have been trained by WWE logic that if heels lose on the go-home show, they're probably going to win. I'm still not going to choose Dion because I still have a theory, but main event was fine. Like, I thought it was still fun in certain spots. I will say this for sure. I don't know how TNA would be willing to do it, but I'm kind of here for Javon and Leon, even if it's for a short time, getting a small little run as NXT tag champs. Like, not gonna lie. Especially if that means that we can have Javon come over to TNA a little bit more too. Because I still hold their match at Bound for Glory as one of the best things that happened at that pay-per-view. But yeah. So this match was fine. I don't really have anything else to add. Baba Oso, what did you think about our main event match?
I mean, it was okay. I thought it was probably the second good thing that happened in this entire episode, other than it going off the air. But it was okay. It wasn't bad. I thought, Javon, the thing about this match is all the wrestlers did what they're known for.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they did. So it wasn't like we were seeing anything new. It wasn't like we were, the outcome was what I figured it would be. But it was just like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. It was, would I watch it again? No. But, I watched it. I can at least say that from beginning to end. And like I said, it had some good moments. I mean, it really did. There were some really great moments. I think it was, was it Javon?
I'm gonna be for real. Javon and Leon probably had the best moments of this match.
I agree. And I think it was it maybe I can't remember if it was either Javon. I can't remember which one it was, but the one that they were just bouncing just side to side, off and off, just hitting bitches left and right. And then the two of them launching themselves together, off both sides. That was a great moment. And there was just I feel that they were the highlight of this match. They really were.
100%. So again, the babyfaces win, but Miles gets the pin and he gets to pick his spot for the Iron Survivor. Kilt, any additional thoughts of our main event that you feel you want to add?
No, I have nothing else.
Okay, cool. So we don't technically end the show with this main event. We go off the air with a pre-tape backstage segment between Ava, Ricky, and Oba. And so Ricky and Oba exchange some final words, and then Ava lets us know at home that for the first time in NXT's PLE history, and I had to look it up, and it's actually true, this is going to open Deadline. And I'm like, what? some shit's about to go down. Like something is going down at Deadline. And then someone pointed out to me, like during this segment, the TV was playing some sort of like close-up footages of like bridges going through. And I was just like, what does this possibly mean? And again, sometimes I'm a wrestling conspiracy theorist, so I was following the logic of this person. I'm like, oh my God, you're absolutely right. Somebody said that Tony D'Angelo would be making a reappearance at some point during this match. And I was just like, listen, I've missed Tony, but I feel like I was like, I guess he's not going up to main roster if we're going to keep him here, I guess. But again, this theory could be completely wrong. And the only way to know for sure if that's going to happen is we have to watch Deadline on Saturday to see if that happens. But besides that, I'm just like, oh, some shenanigans are going down. Because if this match is opening up the show, I'm just like, oh, NXT. Oh. I was like, what? I'm worried. I was just like, am I gonna like this or am I gonna hate this? That I was just like, I'm worried. I was just like, this can go really good or really bad. But yeah, this is how we go off the air for this one. I'm just like, oops. Yeah. Anyways, but that's how NXT goes off the air with, Ava telling us at home. And we'll go from there. So that's going to be it for the NXT portion. So let's just get into this. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties. So as Papa also is fixing that, I'm going to, get us up and ready. Because now, the moment we are here for. By the way, I'm not going to lie. I'm a sucker for a good color palette, and I really like the color palette and the design for this Deadline stuff.
Oh, yeah. I like the red blues, the shadowing. It's really good.
Yeah. Anyways. I know your camera is not working, Papa, but can you hear us?
Oh, is it not working? I can see myself.
Oh.
It's working now.
Hey, I'm going to exit out and come back in. How about
it's frozen.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, as we wait for Papa to get everything fixed, I'm going to send this in the group chat real quick. So, we are currently, doing Predictions League for the 4 major United U.S. promotions in wrestling. So, WWE, NXT, TNA, and AEW. So, we are going to be doing our predictions now for Deadline, which is the final NXT pay-per-view of the year, but not the final one in our Predictions League. We always go from April to April. So our final PLE that will be part of the prediction season is going to be Stand and Deliver in April, but we are here to do predictions for Deadline. So I have just posted our predictions form in the group chat. So let's go through these matches, shall we? So, of course, as we learned at the end of this episode of NXT, we are going to be opening Deadline with our NXT Men's Championship match. So, it is Ricky Saints taking on the Rula Obafemi. I am so for real. I am still going to go with Ricky here, retaining, because this is crazy. I was just like, I feel like Oba doesn't need to win this championship for a third time. And I think this is where we can send him off to main roster officially. So I'm going to go with Ricky retaining here. I know some shenanigans are going to go down, but I feel like we're not going to take the title off Ricky quite yet. Kiltz, I'm going to start with you first. Who you got for this one?
I have to agree on Ricky. In all honesty, whoever loses is going to the main roster is how I view this. Because this is the big title for NXT for the men's side. Whoever wins it is going to stay on for a little while until they lose it and then get moved up. Whoever loses this title or this match should be the one moving up. Mm-hmm. But I think Ricky's going to retain because Ricky hasn't been around for as long as Oba. in this sense. And I think, as you said, Oba deserves to move on up and be straight up on into the main roster, where he'll do great.
Very, very fair. Papa Oso, same question to you. Who you got for this one?
I picked Ricky Saints, but is it sad of me to say that I really don't care who wins?
I mean,
No, because I'm right there with you.
I mean, sadly, I'm like, I don't. First of all, I feel that, and I just want to throw my views out there. First of all, I think the idea of Ricky Saints taking the title from Oba Femi is an improbability that made no sense. I mean, it was absolutely, you're telling me that Oba Femi literally went through the NXT men's roster 3 times.
For reals.
And then this guy comes in and just does it. So I have a really strong issue with this whole thing. So I picked Ricky Saints because I agree. I think that this is probably Oba's launch pad to main roster. But I want to, in the very near future, somebody needs to take that title from him.
For real. So we shall see who gets developed. And again, with our men and women's Iron Survivor matches, the winner gets to face the champion at New Year's Evil. So that's why I also pick Ricky, because I think Ricky is going to face whoever walks out of the men's championship, the Iron Survivor match. So we all have Ricky here, but I am with you, Papa. So I was just like, this needs to be it. Oba is ready to move on. Like, let's get Ricky some other people to fight. Moving into our singles match, and I think unanimously we can all say, and we all agree, this is Tatum Paxley versus Izzy Dame. I think we all unanimously agree that we're going with Tatum on this one. Cool. That makes my job a lot easier. Like, you let Tatum get this first one. Then if you want to continue the feud, Izzy can get the second match and then have a rubber match between the two of them to end it all. So, but I got Tatum for this one. And we all do too. Going into our only championship match is for the NXT North American Championship. All Ego Ethan Page defending his title against Mr. Iguana and La Yesca. As much as I would love to see Mr. Iguana win this championship for the sheer hilarity of it all and to make a meme out of it, I have Ethan Page retaining his championship, and Ethan falls under the same category. I'm ready to see someone take the title off of him, at least the North American one. I would love him and Chelsea Green to continue to be the AAA mixed tag team champions for a little bit, because they do some great work in Mexico at the AAA shows. But I got Ethan winning this one. And I'm ready to see somebody who can, in NXT, to actually take this title and run with it. I was just like, no one will ever come close to Wesley and his amazing North American Championship title reign. Anywho. So, Papa Oso, who you got for this one?
Unfortunately, I went with Ethan. But yeah, and I have to say this, and this is not the first time that this has happened either. This title is becoming kind of a joke. I'm really kind of not caring about it much these days.
It's entering mid-card title purgatory.
Yeah, it really is, and it's.
Kilt,
and I think,
Kilt and I unfortunately have experience with this on main roster right now, and it is a bitch. Let me tell you.
That's fair. It's so sad to watch a once prestigious title kind of slip into mediocrity, which is exactly what it's doing. And it's like, because now they've kind of taken it and made a joke out of it. With him like changing the belt and all of that. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever.
You're like,
so I did. I picked Ethan Page only because I don't think they're going to give the title to Mr. Iguana. Even though, you know what? At this point, it's a stupid, silly title. Why not? Give it to him.
I'll be here for Mr. Iguana.
Me too. But yeah.
I love Mr. Iguana and La Yesca. They're great. Kilt, I'm pretty sure I know your answer, but who you got winning this one?
Oh, you know my answer for this?
I think I do.
What could be my answer for this?
Well, there are two minds of Kilt. One is he wants points, so you picked Ethan Page, but for the shits and giggles, something tells me you went with Mr. Iguana.
I went with Mr. Iguana, of course. I want him
Of
and that
course
ass
you
gonna
fucking
win.
did. Of course you did.
I hate Ethan Page. Like his run has just become boring now, and like he like Tavian should have taken it out of all those matches.
Yes, I still think
he should have
Tavion
had it.
should have won it. Tavion should have taken the title off of him, and it didn't happen.
I love what him and Chelsea Green are doing. It's great. It's annoying as shit, but that's the point. And it's such good storytelling. But damn it, get that belt off them, please. Thank you.
Yeah, let's get some. Ethan Page is about to run into the same problem that Obafemi did, because in terms of the mid card of the NXT, Ethan Page has gone through a lot of the mid card already, and we really don't have a lot of mid card people left. So I'm just sitting here. I'm like, I'm ready for Ethan to, lose the title to somebody. For the shits and giggles, Mr. Iguana would be hilarious, but yeah, unfortunately, I think, at least to end the year, Ethan Page is going to end 2025 as NXT North American Champion, but that's a whole nother conversation for a different time. We got 2 more matches. Both of them are the Iron Survivor, so let's start with the women. So again, for the Women's Iron Survivor match, I do need to put out there that the winner of this match will face JC Jane for the NXT Women's Championship at New Year's Evil in January. So this is basically a number 1 contenders match. This year we have Kalani Jordan, Sol Ruka, Jordan Grace, Lola Vice, and our WWE Women's Evolve champion, Kendall Gray, as of the time of this recording, because after Zarya speared the hell out of her, who knows? I'm going to be so completely honest. I narrowed it down to 2 people, but where we're going and who I think it is, and looking at this field, I'm going with Sol. I feel like this is the year Sol's finally going to win this one, because she's come so close every single year. This is her 3rd, Iron Survivor match. And so I am thinking that Sol is going to win, and I'm putting it out there, barring, Zarya costing her. I think Sol Ruka might be the savior we need to take the title off of JC. Like, I think Sol is ready to be women's champion, and then her and Zarya can fight for this title. So I'm going with Sol Ruka to be our Women's Iron Survivor. Papa, who you got walking away as the winner and number 1 contender?
I have Sol Ruka. I mean, that's immediately when I was like, yeah, Sol Ruka. It's got to be. I mean, even though I would love Kalani, of course, because I love Kalani. I would love Jordan Grace because I love Jordan Grace. I would love Lola Vice because Lola's amazing. Kendall, of course, but I mean, 3rd time's the charm, right? That's what they say.
Yeah, it has to be. I think Sol should win this one, but who knows? We'll see what happens. They might have other plans for Sol. Yeah. Kilt, who you got with this one?
Well, you could say I'm there for my meat muffin, and I absolutely love her, and she's amazing, and she deserves greatness. But I'm going Sol Ruka because lady needs her title back.
Yeah, well, and the fact that if Sol becomes NXT Women's Champion would be great. And I'm gonna be so for real. I think Kalani and Jordan are probably gonna forget the match halfway through and just start fighting each other. I was like, that's where I see that going. They're going to fight each other. It's going to be great. And I'm kind of here if Jordan Kalani end up as like a 3-person feud with Blake Monroe for the Women's North American, because that'd be kind of baller. But anywho, and what our final match, and what I'm probably assuming, and I'm thinking and calling it, that this is going to main event our show, because I'm going to be so for real. Nothing against the women, but looking at the field for the men's, I was just like, you kind of need all your high flyers to end the show. So in the men's Iron Survival match, again, same thing. The winner of the men's Iron Survivor becomes number 1 contender to the NXT Men's Championship. And it is going to either be Obafemi or Ricky Saints who they will be facing at New Year's Evil, depending on who wins the opening match. And this field has Dion Lennox, Miles Bourne, who gets to pick his spot, Javon Evans, our TNA X Division champion, the youngest in charge, Leon Slater, and say his name and he will appear, Mr. Joe Hendry. Now, again, I narrowed it down to 2 people, and as crazy as it is to say, I think, and I can't believe I'm going with this, I have Joe Hendry winning this one. I said it last week, and I'm still going to hold by it. I got Joe Hendry winning this one to face either Ricky or Oba at New Year's Evil for the title. I still think that Javon and Leon are still going to be going after Dark State for those tag titles because they still got unfinished business with Dark State. There's no way in hell that I want to live in a world where Dion Lennox becomes #1 contender, because I feel like that's a waste. And as much as I love Miles, I think he will probably be the one to take the title off of Ethan. So by process of elimination, I got Joe Hendry winning this one. Papa, who you got winning this? Who you got walking out as men's Iron Survivor?
Well, most people would assume that I would be going with,
Mm-hmm.
and they would be absolutely right. I would be going with Joe Hendry, and I think, and the reason being is I think it's the right choice because we all know Joe Hendry is contagious.
Mm-hmm.
He walks into a room, you can't help but love the man. You can either you hate him because you love him so damn much,
right?
And he makes for a great one. He's a cash cow.
Mm-hmm.
You put a championship on him. The best thing about Joe Hendry is he is all about defending it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I got it. Let's fight. You want it? Come at me. Come at me, bro. Let's do it. And he does. I mean, when he was holding the TNA title, I mean, that's all he was doing was defending it.
Mm-hmm.
And making them a crap ton of money while he was doing it.
Very, very fair.
So my big thing is it would make total sense to put him in that one-off against, whoever out of Ricky and which we know it's going to be Ricky Saints.
Right. So plus I think Ricky versus Joe, the mic work between the two of them would be kind of killer, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. And I think, I think if someone was going to take the title from Ricky, it would be Joe. And
fair.
They would be remiss to not do it. Because he will make them money. That's the big thing about him. Mm-hmm. Because he can get the crowd on his side so easily. People will go to an event that he is at because it's like a cult following. Mm-hmm. If Joe Hendry is anywhere near me in Texas, I will go to that event. I will. I love the whole persona, the whole character that he's created.
Right.
It's just this wonderful, positive
thing,
and especially in the world we are living in currently.
For real.
It's a beacon and people are drawn to it. So it would make total sense to me. That's why I'm going with Joe.
Yeah. San Antonio is about to have a really fun match for sure, because that's where Deadline is coming from this Saturday. And then Kilts, of course, last but certainly not least, who you got walking out as men's Iron Survivor champ?
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Easy enough. All right, and those are locked and loaded, and those are our predictions for Deadline. Deadline is taking place from San Antonio, Texas this Saturday. And, of course, we will be here next Wednesday to do the review for Deadline. So I'm excited about all of that. And that's going to wrap us up for NXTilosos. So we still got a whole jam-packed week coming up. We got CMLL later tonight. Tomorrow evening, you got Mystery Wrestling and Progress Wrestling. Friday is the TNA review, as well as making our predictions for Final Resolution, which is happening this week, which is crazy to think about. It's like, God, we're finally at the end of 2025. And we're going to talk about this new TNA deal that TNA now has a TV deal with AMC of all people. I'm like, listen, if we don't get if we don't get like classic movie references, I'm going to be mad. Anywho, but we also have our Ring of Honor Final Battle review Saturday, and then Sunday we are wrapping up the week with our Survivor Series review and talking about Raw and SmackDown from this week. So it's going to be a fun show. We got to get up on out of here. So thank you so much for tuning in from all of us here at NXTilosos and the rest of the BC WrestlePod family. Remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We'll see you later for CMLL. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.